Peyton, can you ask Maria to just scroll through so I can just read through this and see what he wrote? Oh, breaking news into our newsroom. Iran has officially launched retaliatory airstrikes against Israel. It happened just hours ago, the latest and perhaps gravest escalation of violence in the Middle East. And we will discuss it all. I'm Ben Swan. Tuesday evening turned into a real-life action movie over Jerusalem as projectiles zoomed through the skies of Israel. Of course, one of those comes after Israel. The military on Tuesday launched what they call a limited ground operation of Lebanon. Overnight, Lebanese officials say at least 95 people were killed. Yeah. There's no clear number. Got it. Okay. Okay, we can roll through it whenever you guys are ready to do it. Right. Fair enough.
Victor, I'm rolling.
Today with breaking news. Oh, okay. There's a lot of extra stuff.
No.
Oh.
It was just an empty.
Oh, okay. We begin today with breaking news. I'm Ben Swan. Iran has officially launched retaliatory airstrikes on Israel at this hour with dozens, possibly even hundreds of missiles fired at Israel in response to Israel's attacks against Lebanon. This is, again, a breaking story with new information just beginning to come in, but it could be the latest and perhaps gravest escalation of violence in the Middle East that we have seen in a very long time, and we're going to discuss it all. I'm Ben Swan. This is Truth in Media. An incredible scene over Israel at this hour as projectiles have zoomed through the skies of Israel, fired by Iran all across the country of Israel at this hour. Of course, this comes as the Israeli military on Tuesday, they launched what they're calling a limited ground operation of Lebanon. Overnight, Lebanese officials say at least 95 people were killed, another 200 injured. And as of right now, President Biden has not yet released a statement as to all that is breaking. Of course, this, as we mentioned, a huge escalation of violence in this war that's been raging first between Israel and Gaza, now spreading to Lebanon, and now Iran becoming involved. It's an incredible story as we're watching all of this take place. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has raised eyebrows with some of the comments that he has made about Iran recently, making it crystal clear that there is no corner of the Middle East, he says, where Israel cannot strike to defend itself.
There is nowhere in the Middle East Israel cannot reach. There's nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country.
The question is, how far will this escalation go? And are we looking at an all-out war now between Israel and Iran? And if there is, how does that impact the United States, which has been making statements all throughout the morning from the White House that Iran would be met with force if they did fire at Israel, which now they have. Now, as we talk about Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, we should also mention that he is currently fighting corruption charges in court. And let's not kid ourselves here. If his country is this deep in an ever-widening war, those charges against Netanyahu are likely to vanish into thin air. And let's not forget, this whole mess is getting, as I mentioned, a hefty dose of support from Washington establishment.
Support Israel's right to defend itself against terrorism. That includes by bringing brutal terrorists such as Hassan Nasrallah to justice.
Hassan Nasrallah, by the way, is the head of Hezbollah, who was killed in Lebanon just days ago. And of course, this is why Iran says they have launched these missile strikes against Israel in retaliation for the death of that Hezbollah chief. As the world watches, one thing is very clear. The road ahead is incredibly uncertain. And the consequences of this escalation could resonate far beyond the battlefield and likely will not remain just within the Middle East. So to say this is a big deal is a huge understatement. All right, let's cover some news from here at home, because here at home in the United States, port workers across the country are literally walking off the job today after failing to reach a deal on a new contract. Yeah, thousands of dock workers from Maine to Texas have officially kicked off a strike that would soon send shockwaves through the economy. They say they're willing to fight for however long it takes to receive better wages, better promotions, and they want a ban on automation. And they're not just grumbling about a few dollars here and there. They're demanding a massive 77% wage increase over the next 6 years. In the meantime, the U.S. Maritime Alliance has put forth a 50% raise as their offer. The negotiations are underway with a deal seemingly nowhere in sight.
They ripped off the whole industry. They ripped the government off and every damn body else during COVID. Okay? Now, we want them to pay back. They're going to pay back.
All right, so how big of a deal is this? Well, if it drags on, this strike does, J.P. Morgan estimates the potential economic loss between $3 to $4 billion every day. That means ordinary goods like fresh produce, items like bananas and mangoes will be heavily impacted, especially from Central and South America. Perishable goods, including beer and wine, may also face shortages, and products such as furniture and tires could be stuck at ports. And all of this happening just in time for the holiday season and as the upcoming U.S. presidential election continues to heat up. Just last month, the Pew Research Center found that 8 in 10 registered votes, we're talking about 81%, say the economy will be very important to their vote on Election Day. And now to the cleanup effort taking place in the Middle East and the, sorry, let's do this part again. So is this the end of the show now? Okay, this is after over 100. Florida's panhandle to Georgia, the Carolinas.